Hello everybody! I would like to show you my newly created junk journal. I have taken its title from the book of Émile Zola, Ladies' Delight, and it is focused on such ladies' delights as shopping, fashion, laces, perfumes, roses, and so on. And I have set the decorations in the 19th, early 20th century. In other words, there are plenty authentic cards, photos, documents, as well as other ephemera dating from that period. This is quite a heavy book of 1 kilogram and 400 grams with 8 signatures and about 200 pages, both sides counted. It measures 23 centimeters per 16 centimeters with a 10 centimeters large curved spine. The interior pages are of an A5 format. The cover is entirely handmade from a heavyweight bookbinding chipboard of 3 millimeters thick. Here is the chipboard that I used. It is covered with genuine soft lamb leather with its velvety side outside, so it is very pleasant to touch. The spine has 3 ridges. The corners are protected by metal corners. And I have opted for a light and at the same time secure closure by 2 metal rings attached to the cover, through which you can slide a ribbon or a lace. The ribbon I have used is of genuine silk velvet, made of naturally dyed in France. It is also really pleasant to touch. The image in the middle is a transfer on fabric of an old card. I have decorated it with 3 real mother of pearl buttons, and I have made a frame of antique French bobbin lace trim. The spine is decorated with a removable tassel, entirely handmade. Let's remove it to have a closer look. Actually, you can use it wherever you like. So here we have some Bohemian glass beads made in the Czech Republic. There are also some antique lace trims and silk ribbons, as well as silk velvet ribbons. I would like to draw your attention to this small decorative tassel. In fact, it is made of 3 tiny tassels dating back to the 19th century. I found them in some antiquity shop. I have also put some lovely small charms. Let's have a look inside. I have sewn the signatures to a hidden spine so that the book would lie flat and be easy to use. I have used a 5-hole pamphlet stitch and a wax linen thread. The background papers here are from the Elegance collection of Graphic 45, an award-winning scrapbook and paper crafting company from the US. To the right, there is a pocket made of some antique fabric and lace. This type of lace is known as Venice or Burano style lace, which became very popular in France in the 18th century and later. The craft women doing this lace were referred to as women embroidering the air, and we can see why. It's so airy. Inside, I have put a lovely postcard, handwritten. Then I have made a journaling tab or bookmark, whatever you wish, using an original page from the book of Émile Zola, Au Bonheur des Dames, Lady's Delight of 1916, some antique folder paper. Then there are genuine pressed rose petals with some leaves and smaller flowers all stitched around, and they are protected by this antique glacine paper that I have also used from an old book, basically from a cover of an old book of 1920s. Also, we have here an original invoice of a French tannery of 1926 with some original post stamps. Then to the left we have a beautiful tax pot with some lace trim. Inside I have put an antique blank postcard from Paris, which can be used for journaling. Then there is an original bill of exchange issued by a fabric merchant in 1921. Some beautiful stamps. Then there is an original antique notarial document dating 1747. I believe it refers to some commercial dispute. I will put everything back later to save time. To the right there is the original first page from the book of Émile Zola that I already mentioned, Au Bonheur des Dames, on 1916. Do not worry, I have not destroyed a precious book for that. It was really in poor condition with no cover. Here there is a lavish antique French lace known as the lace of Le Puy. This type of lace is in fact considered as part of the intangible French cultural heritage. Here there is a post stamp of the editor's Union's library to whom this book belonged. Then we have an original ledger page. It comes from this ledger of 1930s. There will be plenty of pages from this ledger. Then there is a beautiful reproduction of a rose painting. Almost all the roses used in this journal come from either this book, the Book of Flowers of Pierre-Joseph Redouté, very well known 18th-19th century painter, referred to as the Raphael of flowers. And I have also used this gorgeous roses collection published by Heridium in 2017, I think. Yeah. So here we have another pocket of antique fabric and lace, an original French wine label, an original postcard of 1912, and an envelope with its letter, which was sent by a tailor in, just a second, in 1947. This paper has water protection watermarks, which could be visible against the light. Again, I will put everything back later. Here there is a page from another ledger. This is more like a household ledger type. It comes from this one. I won't be able to give you more details. I believe it comes from the early 20th century. I have embellished it with a stamp and some antique lace. Here you can see this small lovely stamp on this ledger page. Here is the ledger book that I used. This is a commercial ledger which was printed in 1919, and in 1929 it was stamped on every page by a commercial tribunal judge. I find it really amazing. Here there is an original French wine label of 1958. A card that I find gorgeous. It was sent by the well-known French fashion department store Magasin du Louvre to their client in 1903 to tell her that her order would be ready as soon as possible. And another elegant French wine label of 1995. A small doily here. Next, we have an extract from the opera partition. This is the opera Mireille by Gounod, published in Paris in 1948. A blank page for journaling with some fussy cuts of perfumes and an original perfume label. This page here comes from a vintage notebook published in Porto in 1950s. Next, we have two beautiful fragile pages, blank pages from these diaries of the Paris department store Printemps of 1895 and 1896, with some fine laces, sorry. At the back there is a gorgeous French champagne label with an authentic handwritten note made by a notary in 1932 with some space for journaling. It is embellished with this discreet and yet lovely fabric ribbon with a small lace incrustation. Another part from the opera partition. Next, we have an original envelope sent by a fabric merchant in 1949. It can be used as a pocket. Some lovely background from a gift wrapping paper. Then here we have a page, a weekly calendar of 1902 from l'Almanach Hachette. I have only the cover page here to show you. There is an original postcard sent to the director of La Lingerie Universelle à Paris by somebody ordering some ladies' collars. There are some original pressed flowers here, and a colorful tag with two detachable parts at the bottom. It's a cloakroom type of tag. Here again some beautiful bobbin lace. The two pages here that are handwritten come from the 1932 diary of this department store les grands magasins du printemps. Another ledger page with a beautiful stamp, more roses. Here there is a tack spot made of the book page Au Bonheur des Dames. A beautiful antique original postcard, empty, for journaling. And this is a bill of exchange issued by fine leather goods fabricant in 1964. I really love its colors. Another ledger page, another pocket. A lovely postcard of 1914 with its authentic stamp. Here, this is really a rare and beautiful piece. It's an original invoice from the department store Grand Magasin du Louvre, dating 1885, I believe. And here I have included some useful addresses and telephone numbers of dressmakers for ladies. This page comes from, just a second, from this huge France directory of 1947-1948. There is a small discount coupon here from the Almanach Hachette that we have seen for the Grand Magasin de la Place Clichy. Here there is a small lace pocket. By the way, this is a new type of lace coming from the north of France, de Valenciennes. Here we have two original trade cards, or wait a second,